Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to be diving right back into Elite Zoo North, where there is a lot to accomplish today, folks. So let's dive on in without any time to waste. Just want to mention a couple of things really quickly. First of all, my apologies about this weekend and how I thought I could do a Sunday special, but then I couldn't. Honestly, I was not feeling very well throughout the weekend, and I'm still not at 100%, but feeling well enough to record, so I hope you all understand. And judging from the comments on the previous episode, many, if not all, it seems, of you understand exactly, the situation at hand when you don't feel well. It's kind of hard to record. So thank you very much for your understanding and for your patience. We are going to be diving right into a time lapse basically at the beginning of this session today, so that those of you who are feeling like you missed out, there was no time lapse last session, don't worry. We're going to basically kick off with a time lapse. But as always, before I do that, I want to mention very quickly as well, if you've been enjoying this series and you'd like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. It makes such a massive difference. I take a look at the number of likes and comments to get a quick read on interest levels on my series. So it just lets me know if people still want to watch something, if they want to watch something more or less. So if you want more Planet Zoo on the channel, leave a like, leave a comment. And on top of that, as always, I do read through all of the comments. I enjoy reading through the comments. Y'all have some great ideas, suggestions, thoughts, input, and it's just fun to read through them. Now, I will mention really quickly, a lot of the comments do get put into spam for some reason. I don't know why. It's really upsetting because it's not like there's a pattern. It's not like any comment that has a link, or any comment that's too short, or any comment that's too long. There's no pattern. It just randomly, sometimes I'll look at my spam and I'll see, wow, there are 40 legitimate, feel-good comments from Planet Zoo or from other videos that just get tucked into spam, and I missed them. So if I missed a comment of yours, that might be the reason, and I apologize for that, but there's really not much I can do because the spam is, oh my god, it's a mess. It's a horrible mess. So I apologize if I've missed a comment, and that's the reason why. I do try to stay on top of them as much as possible. But yes, enough rambling about that. As always, if you like the show, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. We're going to do a couple things today. Hopefully, we're going to complete Yanasi Plains. I'd like to finish it today. I might get only like 80% of the way, if only because I want to stop and think about it some more. But I've got some interesting ideas, or ideas that I hope are interesting. So we might actually need to empty the animals out before we get started. Looks like, yeah, some of them are in the water. I might need to rework the water for what I want to do. Actually, no, the water should be fine. I think I should be able to keep the animals in here. One thing we will be doing is we'll be trading Ontario out and replacing him with another male, so that the pronghorn antelopes don't need too much rejigging. I can just kind of like mix them up and we'll be fine. Mix them up genetically, and we'll be fine there. The bison, I think, are fine as well. And one thing I want to mention before we dive into this time lapse is that the herds over here have become quite numerous. If we take a look at the number really quickly, we have 21 animals in here. Wow, okay, that's a lot more than I expected. 21 animals. Unfortunately, the crowds here aren't as numerous as they once were. And I think it's just because the animals aren't as new. We aren't seeing as many crowds down over here either. That's a bit of a bummer. It might just be at the top of this episode, it might be the situation, because again, right now we're seeing a huge influx of people over here, right? So we not really sure why it's so empty up over here. I guess there's not much else to see, but that's okay, because as a part of this reconstruction and reworking of the Yanasi Plains, we're going to see some more, facilities added as well. Now, one last thing before we dive in, I'm going to change how I do the whole naming thing, in terms of adding names to staff and whatnot. Well, change. I say change is a strong word. I'm going to do it at the start of the month, once a month. Because I watched the previous episode back and it was like, oh wow, I took a long time. Yeah, I could have done it off screen, but there's so much overwhelming interest in that, which I love to see. But to make sure that I can balance out the content with getting your names in as well and making sure I don't miss any names, I'm going to do it once a month. So hang on to your name suggestions for vendors and whatnot, and let me know when March comes around. I'll mention it again, and we'll do a round of naming. I think that sounds fair, right? Anyway, enough rambling. I say for the second time in a span of 5 minutes, it's time-lapse time. All right, folks, put on your learning caps, because this time-lapse will come with a little bit of teaching. I'm just, first of all, I'm really happy to finally have some ideas with what to do with the Yanasi Plains. I'd received lots of suggestions earlier that were all great, and then I received some suggestions recently that were also great, and finally it all clicked, and I finally have a bit of an overall direction I want to take. And I'll get into details about what I'm doing here later, but first we're going to start in this corner, and actually even before that, I just want to mention the overall intent of some of the work we're doing today is to reduce the overall surface area that Yanasi Plains gives to the animals. We still want them to have a lot of space to roam, but we also want to kind of push them in towards the eagle eye to create better views. And in this corner, the way we're doing that is by building a little village. Now, initially, many of you were suggesting we do things like put down some teepees, put down some totem poles, things like that. But I couldn't do any of that because, just as a reminder, and this is where the teaching comes in, just as a reminder, Yanasi is a Cherokee word. And so we're trying to stick to Cherokee, culture and architecture and things like that. And the teepee is not a Cherokee thing. Now, if someone else knows otherwise or knows better than me, feel free to correct me. But from what I've learned and what I know, the teepee is more of a plains tribe thing. It's more of a nomadic tribe thing. And the Cherokee were actually not nomadic. The Cherokee were a farming tribe. So they would settle down, they would build villages, and they would use local materials to build their houses and structures, and they would farm. And they used a different type of housing in the winter and in the summer. So what we're doing is building some of the summer housing, and it's called wattle and daub housing, which is when you use wood, I think it's always wood, to build a frame, and then you use a stickier material, for example, mud or clay, to plaster it. Now, wattle and daub is not exclusive to the native tribes or anything. However, the Cherokee did use it, and that's sort of what I'm going for here. So you'll actually see I use a lot of the African pieces, but it's a similar, overall aesthetic and a similar idea. But yeah, these are a lot more permanent structures, actually. They did not use, again, as far as my learning has gone, the Cherokee did not use teepee, so I did not want to use teepees. So yeah, you can see I'm using all these African pieces because they work nicely together. They actually weave as well to create the frame and structure. And then I needed to figure out how to do the roofing because it's based on all the reference images I saw, it basically looks like thatch roofing. And the whole idea is that it's made using local materials. So I was just trying to figure out what to do, and ultimately I ended up finding, I think it's the elephant grass, and you can see I pause over here because I'm just looking at references and I'm like, does this make sense? Does this look like it's supposed to? Or am I making a horrible mistake? But ultimately I end up using the elephant grass to create the roofing, and I feel like it works pretty nicely, and you'll see it in just a moment's time. In the meanwhile, you can gaze upon the weaving woodwork over here, stealing from the Africa pieces because none of the other pieces really work for anything like this, and I'm kind of disappointed in that, if I'm completely honest. We launched with like Timberwolves and stuff, and we didn't have anything that was, I don't know, maybe it's just me who cares for this kind of stuff, but I would have liked to have some more specific pieces. But you can see it works-ish. It's the best I could do, so I hope y'all think it works as well, because I think it does the trick over here. The only unfortunate thing is that when you zoom too far away, vegetation kind of disappears, so that's a bit of a bummer. Anyway, so you're going to see me build this house. I'm going to build some variations of this house, and I'm going to build a little village. And as I'm doing that, another thing I want to touch on is the fact that totem poles are also not something that is a Cherokee facet or art, or I'm trying to find the right word over here. Totem poles are actually associated with the Pacific West Coast tribes, or as the Americans call them, the Pacific Northwest Coast tribes. It's actually pretty funny. I've only ever heard of them referred to as the West Coast tribes, and then I was speaking to an American, and Northwest Coast came up, and I was like, hold on a second. But yeah, they're found in like Alaska and BC, British Columbia, and things like that. But sorry, I digress. So if you want to see some really good examples, the Haida are a tribe that have some very beautiful totem poles and things like that. So the totem pole is not a Cherokee thing either, so it'd be kind of incorrect to have totem poles and teepees in here. And actually, on the mention of Haida, I should mention Haida art is very often, at least in my experience, seen as like the representation of Native American art. But it is just, that's just one tribe's work. I suggest looking it up. It's beautiful stuff. And yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm throwing all these names that you've never heard them before, or you don't know what I'm talking about or what the difference is, look them up. It's really fascinating and it's really beautiful. But yeah, so I see all your suggestions. I saw all your suggestions and I considered all the suggestions. But like I said very early on, I try to stay cognizant of these things only because I find it fascinating myself, and I hope y'all do too. And in the past, many of you have said, at least when we were doing like India and whatnot, many of you were interested in some of these little things in consideration. So I want to stay sort of true to that because I think it's cool. Again, I'm a bit of I like history, I like culture, I like the differences and similarities that exist between cultures and whatnot. So I want to try and represent that wherever possible. And I thought rather than doing what we quote unquote expect of something like this, I wanted to sort of be studied. And again, maybe I'm wrong. I'm no expert. This is not my field. This is not why I went to university, or what I went to university for, I should say. So if you know better, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking to learn, and I'm sure I've made that plenty obvious. Anyway, I think that's all the learning for today, and we're almost done building this little village. Now, again, the little annoyance or grievance that I have is that when you zoom away, the grass on the ground disappears, so these buildings sometimes look like they're floating, even though if you zoom in, they're very nicely, pushed down on the ground. And here you can see me doing a little bit of city planning, if you will. I ended up not building any long houses or anything, and the winter houses that the Cherokee used, I believe it's called an asi, A-S-I, asi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, if I'm honest. Those are they're kind of similar, I think, in concept to igloos, where they're dome-shaped, and they're partially underground, and they're specifically the winter homes, and they stay warmer, whereas these are the summer homes, and they stay a little bit more open and cooler. Anyway, I'm distracting myself with more, bits of information I want to share. You can see I'm laying out the village over here. No long houses or anything like that. Just putting down these houses and then adding some more trees in the distance as well. And using the houses and trees actually to reduce, well, not just reduce the size of the plains, but also to block off the edge there so we can get rid of that concrete wall, because it's an eyesore and I'd rather not have it, if I'm completely honest. I want it to be a more natural looking obstruction, and this works. Now the deer, at least the small deer, you saw me checking the habitat, every once in a while, they're able to enter the houses and whatnot. I don't think the bison, God, always. I think the bison will be able to, but the deer are. Anyway, now off to the other side. And this was an interesting suggestion I got, which at first I was just like, ooh, contentious. And then I was like, but I like it because it's contentious. Over here, trying to create a bit of a different immersive experience. So you've got the eagle eye already from where you're looking down into the plains, and it's really cool. I really like the eagle eye. And then on this side, I wanted to build, it's sort of, I'm thinking of the best way to phrase this, but it's the advent of the railroad into this territory. And the idea, I mean, it's a strange idea, because on the one hand, we're doing all this like very, or attempting at doing a very traditional kind of like Cherokee things, from the name to the, to the housing we just put down and stuff. And then on the other hand, we have this like clash of, I mean, I guess the best way to put it is like Western architecture and whatnot. But I think that juxtaposition is what finally made it all snap together in my mind. I was just like, that could be really interesting. And as you're walking through, again, I try to think of it as like the guest's experience as well. As you're walking through, you see both of these things, and maybe some education boards would tell you more than just about the animals, but like, again, especially with like the bison, the human interaction with the bison and human hunting of the bison is so culturally relevant. It's so culturally unique to this part of the world and history. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. So I wanted to integrate both things. So here we're actually building a bit of a like a train station. It was like railway station, rail station. What's the word? Train station. And the idea is it's under construction, so it's not going to be a full-fledged constructed piece. Is this is the advent of the trains in this part of the world, so to speak. So I just thought it was an interesting idea, building the platform here right now, and I also thought it was an interesting excuse for building how many times can you say the word interesting in 30 seconds? I thought it'd be a nice way to build a inset viewing spot, and it'd be a nice way to tuck in some facilities as well where people can buy, I believe one's an ice cream stall and the other one's for drinks. I'm not 100% sure. So I thought it worked well from a functional perspective. I thought it worked well from a storytelling perspective, and I thought it worked well from an aesthetic perspective as well. Now, at the end of this time lapse, or at the end of this episode, I forget now, I make a very quick remark on how I still feel like things aren't complete with Yanasi Plains. And in hindsight, as I was getting ready to record this time lapse, I realized what the issue was. And as always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what I think the issue is and what you think the issue is. But basically, I've got the Cherokee village on one side, or the Cherokee-inspired village on one side, and then I've got this like train station. That's the word, right? On this side, but then that's it, and that's the problem. I think I need to build a bit of a Wild West village as well. Not just the train station, but get a little post office, off to the side here. Maybe get a saloon or something. I don't think you ever have a saloon right next to a train station, do you? But anyway, point being, I feel like more needs to be added to the western side, so to speak, geographically speaking, where we add more of a small town, small village vibe. And then, then that adds to the story as well of like, okay, well, here we have a Cherokee village in North America, circa whatever. I'm not going to throw a random date out there because I know I'm going to get it wrong. And then over here on this side, we have an American, quote unquote, I guess at the time it'd be, American village, town, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm rambling now, I know, but these are the little things I like to try and integrate whenever possible to make the Elite Zoo Company stand out from other zoos. Really happy with how things are coming across and coming around overall. And again, I'm curious to hear your opinion, so let me know down below, folks, what you'd like to see with Yanasi Plains and what we're doing over here. Now, over here, using the little girders or whatever they're called, I think that's how you pronounce it, to build the tracks. And at first, there's that little piece that I want to hide, and I'm like, well, I can't keep hiding them, so I end up looking up metal as a search term, and lo and behold, there is one without the little bit that sticks out. And I decide to, extend the tracks a little bit. Again, it's all under construction, so it's not completed yet. I love the joke of like I could be using those train tracks. This could be an actual train station, but no, we're not going to do that. It's under construction. In my mind, it's kind of funny, but I prefer it this way. And then I've got this corner over here as well. So here again, we can like make it into a saloon or a post office or something. But of course, for the guests, it's actually a toilet block or whatever. I think it's a good spot to put all that stuff in on the long walk towards the Arctic animals, the polar bears and whatnot, when they eventually get added again. Because we were missing stuff on that side. Anyway, save the game because we're going to switch to nighttime now, and it's time to add some lighting. And the Eagle Eye logo needs to be updated up over here, and we can actually drop in our eye, and now it's got this glow. Now, I don't know if eagles actually have, what's it called, retro-reflective eyes. I think that's the word, retro-reflective, I think. Like, how cats' eyes like glow in the dark and whatnot? It's because, and again, I'm testing my biology, which is not my strong suit. It's their lenses in their eyes actually reflect light in a way so that it bounces back and forth between their cornea twice. So it's like a double exposure, basically, so they can see better in the dark. That's why when you take a picture of a cat in the darkness, their eyes glow. It's because they're actually reflecting light back at you, but then that same light is also being reflected right back into the cornea again. Anyway, just thought I'd share. I don't know. We're getting all these lights in, so you'll notice I use red a lot. Now, if I recall correctly, the Cherokee Nation's flag is actually orange. I could be mistaken. However, also if I recall correctly, the color red is a very auspicious color in the culture. A little hazy here, if I'm completely honest. So I'm going to actually double check and make adjustments accordingly. But overall, just getting the lighting done over here, making sure that it's visible at night. Because again, this is something we've done so long ago, like episode, what, 10, 13, 14, 15? Something like that. So it's been a while. We haven't done any of the lighting. And I'm actually really happy with how the Eagle Eye looks lit up like that. Oh my God, even just looking back at it. And of course, we decide to pull in some lighting for the trees as well. That's where I was going to initially call it time-lapse. And then I was like, you know what, let's spend a couple more minutes and just light up the area, and it ends up being a much longer time lapse than initially anticipated, but a fun time lapse. I'm really happy with how the zoo looks at night. Lighting up these trees though, just it looks so ethereal and so just magical is the only word I can think of. But take a look at this any second now. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I was so happy when this worked out. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. It's so just like it transports you, you know, to a completely different place. That vibrant pink glow. I don't know. I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it. It's just, I don't know. It's just so beautiful. It also makes me want cotton candy, but it's just so beautiful. I really like it. And so the rest of this time lapse is me kind of going around, finding the right spots to add those lights into. Most of the time I go from right underneath the tree because that gives a nice, bright, vibrant hotspot. But every once in a while you'll notice I put the light down elsewhere and then shine it towards the leaves because that also works. And that gives you sort of more coverage, I find. So you'll find me doing that fairly often. And I think I might even add more lights. This is me like not caring about the electricity bill, basically. We're going to say these are just very strong LEDs, so we're still being eco-conscious, like environmentally conscious, but it just looks so good. I don't know, I like it. Again, as always, if y'all hate it, let me know, but I think it looks pretty neat. So yeah, just shining a soft pink light into the cherry blossom trees is yeah, giving us this strange glow, this otherworldly glow, and honestly, I really like it. Oh, it was also mentioned in the comments, it'd be really nice if people could get married at Flamingo Park. And you know what? That's great headcanon. Absolutely. Wedding venue, 100%. But that's the time-lapse, folks. Right. That's the time-lapse, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, very rarely in my life do I kind of take a moment and go, wow, I'm really happy with what I've executed. I'm not gonna call myself modest. It's imposter syndrome. You feel like, oh yeah, I'm not that great. And very rarely in my life do I look at something I've made and I go, wow, I really like how this looks. And wow, I really like how this looks. That the pink like glow from the trees, I just very happy with it, and very happy with how the lighting overall looks as well. We're probably going to do another lighting pass. As you can see, there are some dark spots in the zoo that need a little bit of lighting, but I think a big part of it does have to do with how far the power reaches. I mean, we can get some lighting in here. I really want to light the Inukshuk up as well. I mean, I actually got some great suggestions as to how we can light up the Inukshuk with some nice, bottom light, like under lighting that would make it look really nice, and I'm excited to implement that. But for now, folks, I think we're done with time lapsing. That was a long time lapse. That was almost 2 hours straight. Let's go ahead and hit save really quickly because I realized I should have saved during the time lapse, but I don't want to go into the blueprint mode and have it crash and lose everything. You must have seen me save before I switched to nighttime as well. Yes, the game has done that to me. I have become that nervous that we're going to get a random crash at some point. So let's go ahead into blueprint mode. Let's make it daytime again. Oh, I was ready for it to crash. Make it noon. Oh, that bright flash is so blinding. Make it noon. But one last thing I want to do before we hit play is do I want to do this right now? I don't know, I'll be completely honest. Like I want to get the covering done for all of the shops, but if I'm completely honest, I think I'm a little done with construction right now. Let me just take a quick gander in here right now really quickly and see what we might do. I mean, I'm sure if I look at limestone, if I narrow down by limestone, I'm probably going to get a couple of options. No, give me a store. No, or is it shop? I think it's shop. Yeah, it is shop. There we go. All right, so this will make life a little bit easier at the very least. Got to get these. I'm not going to overcomplicate the storefronts over here. I think we've done enough to complicate this area by enough. But yeah, we'll pop you down over here, and I should be able to fit you over here. Excellent. Limestone is what I'm looking at, and I want to go ahead and get walls. If I could just get the walls, there we go. 4 meters looks right. Yep. Go ahead and pop you down and surround these properly over here. There we go. Box you right in. Wow, it's a crowded space. There we go. Okay, and I don't know if I'm gonna... I don't know, he says, followed by Tells you everything you need to know really about me. I guess we could put this down over here like so. And again, I appreciate that some of you would much prefer to have this be a part of the time-lapse, but I hope you understand that sometimes it's nice to just step away from the time-lapsing and be able to verbalize my thoughts, vocalize my thoughts rather, not verbalize, vocalize my thoughts as I do things. Can I get a pillar in here? Is this tall enough? Well, let's find out. Yes, it is. Excellent. Oh yeah, very happy with that. There we go. Chuck you out just a slight bit there. Beautiful. Just a smidge. Done and done and done. All right. You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it, and that's a good start. That's a good start, right? Let's actually duplicate you. Go ahead and lock our angles. I mean, again, trying to stay authentic to this art style with the pieces we have, proving difficult, more difficult than I would have expected. It's also got to do with my unfamiliarity with the overall architectural style. Like, I'm looking up references and stuff, of course, but sometimes, especially considering the modern interpretation is different from, you know, its original incarnation. This is dangerous. I might need to shift my track a little bit. What was I saying? I've already lost my train of thought. God. I can't help myself, folks. I can't help myself. All right, that's looking all right. Let's go ahead and get you, pull your back over here. Let's pull this pillar back as well. Nicely. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And as always, we can, you know, pull my favorite plant. I can go to nature over here. Where are we? There we are. Honestly, it is very much my favorite, isn't it? I think it's my most used. Go ahead and... I guess we could attach you to the group. Nah. Keep you in this group, this architectural group instead. Go. Just a little bit of work over here, folks. And then we're going to... I've got a lot of great name suggestions that I'm going to implement. And in fact, some of the name suggestions are for stores that aren't actually here. So I'm going to be putting down some other stores. Because there were some name suggestions that are just too good to let go by, basically. So I will be adding some more stores here and there. But that's that for this area. I'm glad to have at least put it down, like put down some decorative elements over here. So it feels like the... area over here has been completed. Now, I think a lot of you were pointing out how this area is still barren. We'll figure something out over here. Maybe we put down some more food stalls or something, make a little park or like a mini park, basically. Some trees, a little circular fountain type space and whatnot. I think that'll do the trick. And actually, on the topic of fountain type space, that reminds me, as many of you pointed out, again, like I said, I read through all the comments, so when you point out that I've missed something or something has slipped by, I see the comments. Unless, of course, like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, it was, for some reason, sent into spam. Or otherwise, I somehow missed it. It does happen sometimes. I miss comments, and I try not to, obviously. I try to stay on top of it, but stuff happens sometimes. So yeah, we're still going to fill the space up. And just as a reminder, this is where we're going to get camels. So this will be the camel area. Going to try and go for a very, like, Arabian mixed with, you know, Hellenistic art style over here. And for those of you that were asking, the orangutan will be over here. Gonna give him a nice... Actually, you know what? What I'm probably gonna do is... Alright, this is no longer Australia. So the orangutan... Sorry, I'm just gonna move this over here. The orangutan are going to have a lot more swinging room, so to speak. They'll be in this entire area over here, I think. A nice walk-through enclosure, perhaps. Well, walk-through. You'll be going through a tunnel made of glass, and you can see them swinging around you, and the Komodo dragon will cap us off in the corner over here. Need to figure out exactly what I want to do for it from a, you know, architectural and visual and experience standpoint. But yeah, that will come to later. I think once we finish Genasi Plains now, which is great, then I think I want to do the camel, so we fill this space up. I want to fill this space up with just, you know, decorative elements, and then we'll come down over here, finish these guys off, get the rhino in. Lots to do, lots to do. And I actually wonder if I want to move the tracks over today. I could do that. Could add a train station over here somewhere so people can arrive. You know what? I'm not gonna. I did a lot of construction. I'm gonna step away from construction and maybe we do the tracks next session. How about that? I think that makes sense. One thing to do. Well, actually, a couple things to do before we hit play. I was about to tell you a bold-faced lie. There's a couple things to do before we hit play. So first of all, exhibit animals only. Let's go ahead and well, haha. See, I remember this time. Go ahead and quick trade all this out. Now, before I actually do that, I want to go ahead and get ourselves another trade center. So we've talked about getting a new trade center. Some of y'all mentioned that a new trade center would actually not help because it doesn't actually increase the number of slots. But we're about to find out, right? We're about to confirm once and for all if that's the case. So this is the trade center, right? Yep. I'm gonna duplicate the trade center. We're gonna go ahead, exit that group, pop you in here. Slot has been around for a long time. Hopefully, doesn't look like it'll fit. Okay, come on now. Come on now. And nope. Fine, facilities, staff facilities, trade center. Come on, we had one in here earlier. Why would I not be able to? Oh, there we go. There we go. So that trade center is done. And I actually, might actually need to go in there with the precision placement tools. Or, oh, there we go. Perfect. Boom. And to those of you that were asking why I don't put roofing down, it's so that I can see these icons easily and I can see exactly what's happening. All right, so new trade center added. Technically, that should take the limit up to 60, and it does not. So whoever was that said it doesn't help, you are absolutely correct. But I guess at least this will make it easier to bring animals from over here when I trade them in, rather than from all the way over here. We have a trade center that's a bit more centralized to this region, you know, for the camels, the flamingos, and things like that. Anyway, where was I? Right. Exhibit animals, exhibit animal trading, more specifically from within our zoo to without. So let's go ahead and move some of y'all. Got to switch this. There we go. Let's go ahead and do this. And again, I'm going to keep it by species. I do believe there are some animals that we have run out of breeding pairs for. I think one of y'all were pointing out the forest scorpion, and it looks like our Brazilian wandering spiders as well. We need to leave a male behind. We've got a pregnant mother here. Going to leave you. Pregnant mother here. We're going to leave you. Oh, no, it looks like the forest scorpions are fine. What about our frogs? We can get rid of some of these frogs, I think. Yeah. Leave at least a couple females behind for Fernando over here. He's going to have a field day. Get rid of y'all. Get rid of you. Get rid of some of you. And let's go ahead and before I take too long. Oh, need to get rid of one of you. Mercedes gets to stay because with a name like Mercedes, I mean, come on. But I do need to get rid of some of the Titan beetles at least. Yeah, we got to get rid of more Titan beetles. I know I'm going over my limit, but it's because I want to go ahead and do this. And at this screen, I can say, all right, let's go ahead and keep some of these golden poison frogs. You, and let's keep this guy as well. Cool. Move to trade center. A nice quick buck being made right at the start. Like 12k is not bad, right? Confirm that. Done and done. And I believe many of you pointed out that unfortunately, for some reason, Kiara didn't get put on trade. I don't know what happened. I must have missed something. It must have been disconnected. It must have disconnected or whatever it was. Something happened, but Kiara did not get put up to trade. So let's go ahead and check the animal market, see what the Bengal tigers are currently going for. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh my God. Okay. Work with me here. There we go. Refresh this list. So at the highest 10k, which is just absolutely ridiculous. These are good beasts though, I guess. What if I flip the price upside down? It's not letting me click. All right. Try it this way here. There we go. Just have to close the menu and reopen it. So 200 is about as low as they go. Okay. 800. Oof, those are good stats. See, my concern is that fertility and immunity are pretty low on Kiara. That's my concern. Samesh here for 800. He's gold. Man. I'd like to make at least like 800. 1,000 is maybe looking... Oh, but immunity is really low there. But it's a white tiger. We can try 1,000. You know what? Let's go ahead and try 1,000. See what we get. Because otherwise, the size and longevity are great. Fertility and immunity, they don't matter as much, but we'll see. Let's try it. 1,000. And to those of you that were asking about why I'm not letting Veer and the other white tiger copulate, it's because I will not knowingly allow inter or inbreeding to happen. On which note, on one last thing to do over here. That was a good reminder. Y'all pointed out that Tinbull is unfortunately, was it Tinbull or was it Zariel here? Zariel's getting babies. Who is your mate? Our mate is Ontario. Are you related to Ontario? I guess you're not. Okay, good. Many of you pointed out that Tinbull was pregnant, and that was through inbreeding, but maybe she didn't actually get pregnant, if I'm lucky, or she already had her inbred baby. Tinbull, come on. Okay, looks like we're safe. So Ontario, though, does need to go, right? What? Is it not inbred? Okay, where's Ontario? I gotta check in on Buddy here. And I will, once this is done, because again, this was basically harassing us. Once this is done, I think I'll be able to hit play. So Ontario, what's up? What is up with you? You've got, all your kids are here. Oh, I see. I see what was going on. All right, so I guess we could swap him out again. He's got decent genes, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and send him, release him into the wild. Now let's get ourselves a different pronghorn antelope. We've had some really good luck with the pronghorn antelope, and again, the size of this enclosure, I think now is starting to make sense, right? I think it's starting, oh wow, look at this for 32. You're kidding me? Absolutely. I mean, marginal difference in price. Let's go ahead and adopt you, and let's move you first into quarantine. Right, so now at least it'll be from this trade center to that quarantine. There we go. And then we'll have you join in with the pronghorn antelope. All right. I think we're good to hit play. Gotta make sure I'm not at max speed over here. When you hit O, the speed of the game changes, and I must have hit O instead of P at some point. I don't think I have any, or I. I is the multi-selection tool. Right now is the press unpause, but the game stays. There we go. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay. That lag spike was wild. I think it was just trying to recalculate the pathing and whatnot. All right, we're good. We're good. Everything's looking good. What do we got to do? We got to take a look at some of the animals that apparently I've left unnamed. Where are my exhibit animals? There was an iguana I was told that I might have forgotten to name, which, there we go, Mercedes. I hope it was Mercedes that I bought for the intent of, with the intent of breeding, rather. Janvi is about to have offspring. All right, let's see it. Man, I was so happy. The babies at the end of the last session made me really happy, and that's why I was willing to call it at that point in time. I was just like, you know what? Babies is a good note to end things on. We're not going to be ending it on that note today, though. There's a lot of work to do still. And I've actually lost all sense of time. I don't know how long this session has gone on for. It's the downside of starting with the time lapse, I guess. But hopefully we're about to be, we're going to be an hour-long episode. I'm going to try and stick around the hour mark. Oh my god, these animations. Did you see the ears? Oh my god. That was so cute. Did you? I mean, of course you saw that. That's what the camera was focused on. Oddvik. All right, let's take a look at. Oh my God, Tippy Taps. Wow, look at those jeans. Oh my God. Oh my God. I actually saw a beautiful video the other day of a mother assisting a baby elephant onto its legs for the first time after giving birth. It was pretty impressive. It uses its trunk to help the struggling baby elephant stand up. Because, like, this is basically what a baby elephant looks like when they're born. A little bit smaller, actually, I think. But those legs are tiny, right? And they need some help standing up. And it's not so much like antelope or gazelle, where if you don't stand up yourself, you're abandoned. Just went under mom's belly. Okay. All right. Enough freaking out. I wanted to see this for a while now, and I'm glad we're actually seeing this here. Just nudged it over to lie down. That's cute. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, so their legs are pretty weak, I guess. Or at least their, like, knees and stuff might be. Their joints might be pretty weak at first. What are you... That's not playing. So, yeah, I guess they need the help to stand up. Unlike gazelle, who, like, yeah, if you don't stand up, then you get left behind kind of really quickly. All right. Back on task. Quarantine passed. Hemison, let's go ahead and move you in to Yanasi Plains. And what else have we got to do? We got to do a couple of things. So again, naming and stuff I'm going to do once a month, so I hope y'all don't mind, but that's going to be saved for later. However, things like, that's naming of animals and vendors. But in terms of actual stores, all right, the Pip Shot Water. Name suggestion was, oh God, Camel Mile, because we're going to have camels over here. Beautiful. Cosmic Cow Ice Cream. Name suggestion was Just Chill. I like it. It's not well, it's punny as far as the fact that it's ice cream is concerned, but it's not like related to the animals or anything. It's nice to have a little change of pace every once in a while. What do we got here? Okay, sure, I'll claim that reward. Then we have, what else have we got? Over here, our chief beef. Oh, right. Flamin Grill. So it's like Flamin Grill, except flamingo. I mean, come on. And then over here, the Hard Flock Cafe, we've already got named. Now, there were actually some names for stores we don't have, and I like them a lot, so I'm actually going to pop them in. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at our facilities. The first one I'm going to pop down is the the information center. I'm trying to figure out where's the best spot to put this down, actually. I'm going to make a little block over here right next to the camel, or the washroom. I guess I could put this over here. I don't really want to block the path there. I guess I could put it over here. Maybe just a lineup of stores here. Sure. Let's get our info center in here as you're headed in to look at the flamingo. And there's also a Hat's Fantastic. I can't believe I'm just putting things down because of puns and name suggestions. All right, let's pop you down. Been in box for too long. Unbox all animals here. What's the issue here? Symington's been in a box. Why are you in a box? And pronghorn antelope, incorrect ratio. Oh, I think that's just the bug where like that alert is staying even though it doesn't really need to. Okay, sorry, where were we? Where was I? All right, over here. So the information center, is going to be called Flaminfo. And Hat's Fantastic is going to be renamed to, don't demonetize me, YouTube, Locking Fabulous. Oh, good. Oh, and would you look at that? Immediate response with customers arrived, but they didn't buy anything. Dave Shaw looks busy. Where can I get a drink? Maybe I'll go back to Darwin. Do it. There's spots right here where you could get. Oh my God, you animals! I look away for a minute, not even a minute. I look away for a second. Come on, really? There's a bin right here. At least this guy's gonna come over and clean that up. Hopefully, put you down there. Gotta put these down, don't I? God. Filthy animals. There we go. All right, yeah, immediate customers. So that's great. John V just passed away. That's unfortunate. Do we have... offspring already, or no? Are you alone? You are alone. Oh, no, 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 no. We've got a pair. Oh, we've got more than a pair. Oh, my God. All right. Who's the daddy? Daddy is Kian. Let's keep Cushy, which means happiness. And let's move y'all to the trade center. Yes. Now that breeding pair should last a while. Go ahead and rename you. Give you that mum signifier. All right, we're good. We're good. Power source failing. So apparently a lot of people have been reporting issues with mechanics not doing things on time. It might be a new bug, I suppose. That's a possibility. Or it might just be because I've got a lot of new things and I don't have I have a lot of new things and I don't have enough mechanics for it. So we'll find out what's going on. First things first, so real quick, let me go ahead and check crime. Had a feeling. Monsters. And let me also check our work zones, because again, y'all pointed out, I have not settled the work zones. So India Center, we're going to add these two. And we'll add the ATM to as well. Because yeah, this is India Center, right? We're going to share that. So that's India Center. America's North, we're going to add you. And we're going to add, well, these guys, for sure. Right. Okay. And then, what else? America's West, no, sorry, America's East. Going to have that added. That, this. Just because it's in the area. And of course, India entrance as well. You've already got that. We should add these two as well. Just so they can change shifts as needed. All right, so that should be pretty good, I think. A bit of alpha fighting over here. In fact, is the ratio wrong? We have 2 males. I guess we're not supposed to have 2 males. Lucas Snow. Where Hale. That's an interesting name. I'm not familiar with the sounds of that name. Emerson is the alpha with much better genetics. Go ahead and send you off, buddy. To the wild. Where somewhere you can be the alpha. I mean, pretty good genetics. He has a decent chance, I would say. All right, so that's all the naming done. I've fixed. Oh my God, no, what's going on? How? How do y'all manage to escape? And you're actually outside of the zoo. And this is hilarious. They're all watching. Run, run, Sahana, run, be free. That's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny. Are you going to be able to capture that animal? Because again, it is out of our... You can see the dotted line there. That's funny. Okay, it's going to come back. Before you get too far away. Go ahead and box you up. That's funny. I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. Wow, they're actually making a ton of money now. Well, that's good. And I do want to do a quick check on our flamingos. Stress is still an issue. Some of y'all were suggesting it might be a result of lacking friends, basically. Like, not enough other flamingos, which is a possibility. We are fairly low in count. Flamingo, I need their enrichment, food enrichment, forage pool. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. Not sure where to put this. I would just pop it down in the middle or something. Or, oh, you know what? I could pop it down over here. Interesting. Okay. That's their food enrichment, I think, taken care of. Yep. Plants, 0. Why so upset about the plants? Let's get rid of you. Is that it? That's so weird. It's severely inappropriate for this animal. It's like just a couple of... That's so weird. They didn't really used to care that much. That's extremely strange. And I'm wondering what to do about that, because that's a big problem. That's a big 0. It's not just like a small... Oh, we'll see, we'll see. I'll deal with that, I think, later. If y'all have any suggestions or anything. I don't want to reduce the number of trees we have. I guess I could reduce the size of the space, but that seems like a silly way to go about it. Anyway, looks like we're making some money, which is good. Actually, looking at that reminds me I should probably train my staff up a little bit. Just go by star rating, and yep. Everyone who's really low rated should get upgraded first. Not too many 1 stars, which is great. Not too many 1 stars. There we go. Good stuff. Just get all y'all training. Not very many low star individuals, actually. Mostly in the 4-star range, it looks like. So that's not very bad, actually. All right, and one more thing I want to check is the... Nothing. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, we've got people using the washrooms at the very least. No money made here yet. No money made here yet. That's fine. I'm hoping, actually, one thing I need to check is if I look at you. Yeah, okay, good. They're still able to get up over here. Good stuff. Moria Plaza needs to be cleaned. The keeper was just here. It's so weird. And Arad is about to have offspring, which is great. Go ahead and give it a watch. Offspring imminent. I enjoy watching when the babies arrive. It's excellent genetics as well. So if we're fortunate, we're going to get some really high quality babies. Oh, what a cutie. Immunity's a little low. What about your sibling, Amruta? Oh, immunity is also very low. Okay, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We are able to trade some of them out, right? And we'll... oh my god, already having babies? I just took you off. Okay, that's fine. Another episode of babies. Yeah, throw that money in there. Look at that. Oh. And their mewling is the best thing I can call. That's the mewling is how I describe it. We have a full-on, like, parade-worthy number of... Oh my god, I want to watch it eat. That was adorable. I gotta stay zoomed in more often. Every once in a while you'll catch something that... Oh, this is just too much for me. Oh, this is cuteness overload. Oh, are you joining as well? Please, please join. No, you're just gonna walk away? Alright, fine, fair enough. Alright, they're done eating as a family. This was adorable. Oh no, you have joined. Oh, why'd you run away? Back here. Oh, well, it's too late now. That's amazing. That's amazing. Alright, Abril, back on contraceptives. I could only take so many. Oh, but this is cute. She came over here to give birth. This is cute. Decent genetics over here as well. We've had the same breeding pair forever. Oh my god, give her some room. Distress-like. Stress is okay. Toy enrichment is low. Part of it might be because there just aren't as many toys as they need. Could... novelty is dropped. Alright, well let's take a look at some of these issues. Animals hungry. They're just not being taken care of like they used to. I don't know. I don't know. Is anyone else seeing this with their playthroughs? Oh, the keeper. Oh, actually, that reminds me. It was pointed out. Oh, this frame rate. My god. This was pointed out. That I left some of these pieces behind. So thank you for that. Wouldn't have noticed it without you pointing it out. I can fight with this frame rate and get this in here. Close. There we go. There we go. There we go. Get it to lean a little bit, then I might get a nice curve kind of arc kind of a feel. Yeah, that kind of works. Sure. I also really like how Flamingo Park looks in broad daylight. Moria Plaza. Got some issues over here. All right. Gotta send some of the men off. You are not a man. You are not either. They're peacocks. They're like the easiest male to recognize. How am I having so much trouble? All right, let's release to the wild. Yeah, it's not a lot of conservation credits, but it's something. All females. I mean, I should probably release some of the females to the wild as well, honestly. Getting so many of them now, it's becoming dirtier quicker and all that. And food is just being dropped off now. Not enough room to feed them all, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate some of these then. Oh, come on. Really? You're going to throw garbage here? I thought the animals were filthy. Put down there. I could put one over here as well. All right. Put another feeding space down over here. Give him a reason to come back over here, I guess. That's hilarious when they just teleport like that because he put something down. Anyway, multiple animals have low welfare. I'm guessing that's the beetle. Indeed it is. Select all and then go and find mom and dad. Seems mom and dad passed away at some point. Go. To the trade center you go. And I'm guessing the exhibit is also dirty. Yeah. What's your social health? Like social group is fine. Cool. That'll be done soon. These animals will hopefully be fed soon. Disease is now life-threatening. Oh no. Okay, looks like we healed her up. We had completed all of our research for diseases, so hopefully she's okay. Just had a baby. I didn't even catch what it was, so in playback we'll see what disease she had. I'm glad I got caught. Looks like she's fine. I imagine she's fine. Let her arrive at the Ivory Palace, and then we'll take a look at her. And Flamingo Park, I just don't know why we're seeing so many issues. All food. I've got to keep her en route, I thought. I'll keep her. Feed them. Now let's see if John V's back yet. About to be. There we go. Perfect timing, actually. How are you doing? Thought I saw the number going down, but no. I don't see... Immunity is very low, so she's prone to disease. Oh, we're gonna have to redo the toys over here as well. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and redo these toys. Get rid of that. Get rid of this as well. If I can select it. It's not letting me pick. I don't think it's part of the group. Oh, it is. Okay. Go to you. There we go. What else have we got? What other boring toys have I given you? Waterfall and metal frame. Okay, well that's going to stay. Surely you're still enjoying that. No, you're bored of that as well. Come on. Oh, actually, this reminds me. Yeah, the Crocs over here, they did stop the ride. I need to figure something out about that. There we go. I need to figure out something so that they don't get stuck like that, and so I don't have to constantly go back and check on them. All right, we've got incorrect sex ratio with a pronghorn antelope, but before that, let's go ahead and... they're playing. Go ahead and give these guys some toys. So, looking at habitat, elephant, toys. Get a large ball. The kids will love it. Do that. And get some sprinklers down, or maybe a rubbing pillar. Get a rubbing pillar down where? Over here. And they feel kind of happy. Okay, fine. We can get a mud bath as well. I believe I got rid of the mud bath, right? So we can drop the mud bath down, say... So cute. Over here. 70%. Still not enough. Oh, they're bored of their large... fixed roller. Or no, they're not bored of it, there's just not enough. Okay, so I could do a tree scatter feeder as well. Maybe put it down over here, perhaps? There we go. Much better. Much better. It's so cool to see them wading through the water and stuff. Alright, we're moving smoothly over here. Yeah, we are en route. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, great. Pronghorn antelope, again, problems over here. Go ahead and sort that out real quick. Where are we? It's just because the males are becoming adults. Lucas. It's your last meal, buddy. Your last meal, and you're gonna get going. Done nourishment, is it 100%? I guess he's actually done eating. Release you into the wild. Decent conservation credit count there. There we go. Off you go. Been in box for too long. Unbox them all. Crowds are getting kind of hectic. And how are our tortoises doing? I know they were stressing out earlier, but go ahead and take a peek over here. They're good. I could probably up the meal quality. Toy enrichment is boring again. Sorry, let's go ahead and fix that. Small ball. Dog ball is a toy? No, it's food. Frozen fruit is food. Small ball over there. They hadn't even played with their ice ball enrichment. Unless it recently reset, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and check. You. Enrichment. Okay, they have no toys. So. Got the toy twists. Toys. We haven't had one of these in a while. Pop one of you down. Now let's go ahead and get a sprinkler maybe over here. There we go. Nice and easy. Unbox you. Now, are they still getting stuck back over here? Is that what's going on? They make it here fine. Wonder when they get boxed up. Actually, let me check over here. You're around a pretty big crowd. We're not stressing out, though. The one-way glass, I think, is working, because from the tortoise's perspective, there's nothing to bother him. But I think that's working. Or her, I guess, as the case was there. Overcrowding. Oh. Have I been reading this warning incorrectly? Yes, wow. Okay, we have way too many adults here. Alright, time to get rid of some of the women. Can't release you to the wild for some reason. Oh, offspring do. That's why. Tin Bull, gonna keep you around. Go ahead and... We have so many with good genes. Wait, do we have 2 Tin Bulls? Yes, we do. Which one's got worse genes? This one. Release you to the wild? Can't. Offspring do. Okay. Embre's got good genes. You. Oh my god, are you also pregnant? Oh my god, how many babies are we gonna have? This is a problem. You we can release. Let's go. Mid run. Need to try getting rid of some of the better quality genetic options here. And I mean, I guess I could trade them out instead. I suppose I could trade them out instead. Make some more conservation credits. Use that to get some more rare animals. Here's the trade center. How are we looking here? You're also pretty good. Here's the trade center. Were you just about to take a poop? I think I stopped her mid-poop. And if we look at social now, 12, still too many. Embe, you can be released to the wild. There we go. And I think... now we're good. But the moment babies become adults, we're going to have those issues again. We'll deal with that then. We will deal with that then. Okay. And yes, I do have the release to the wild. Release 2 Bengal tigers to the wild. But the thing is that the reward is so pointless. Like, that doesn't draw me in at all. So I'm not going to, for 1,500, release a couple Bengal tigers to the wild. That just doesn't make sense to me. No. Not another one. Embry, wow. Those genes. One last bath. I need to stop watching these. The least you can do is be for them when they pass. Geralt, excellent genetics here. Wolverine, I believe, has great genetics. Vaughn, are you able to mate with Wolverine, though? Yes, you are. Okay, good, good, good. Because Wolverine, I guess, is the new male that was brought in. We're doing pretty well, folks. Oh, hey, we cracked that 5K visitor count number. Awesome. And in terms of finances, looking pretty good as well. If we take a look at all of our numbers here. Some refunds, that's fine. Refunds have fluctuated. What else have we got? Taxes, whatever. Income, pretty good. Ride tickets are making us some good money. Shop income, yeah, we're doing pretty good. That's to think. Just 2 months ago, we were suffering horribly. Oh my, come on. Look at the trash. I'm still suffering sometimes. Put you over here. You up here. Gotta get a bunch of these down. It's like they can't walk 10 steps, literally, without throwing trash somewhere. There. And hey, at least we're seeing some activity over here. That's good. Worried about this, but we're seeing some action. 80 bucks made here so far, 135 bucks made here. It's not a lot, but they'll eventually pay for themselves when we join this to the polar bear enclosures. But folks, as this balloon flies away in a fitting pink to match the work we did with the cherry blossoms today, I am going to call it a session. I think it was a pretty good session. We managed to accomplish a lot. I just can't get into the shape of, like, I wonder if the solution to Yanasi Plains, honestly, is to go ahead and just do something like this, you know, and just make it feel a bit more natural. I mean, I'm already, I think, liking it a bit more. I was calling it a session not 30 seconds ago. Do something like that, right? Make it feel like it blends in a bit more nicely. Just because I think, as much as I like the interior now, it still doesn't feel quite complete. I don't know if it is just because of vegetation. You know what? Maybe. Maybe. I feel like it looks a little bit better. Y'all need to let me know what you think in the comments down below, as always. Curious to hear your thoughts, your feelings, your suggestions. But yes, this is what we're going to call it a session, folks. I think it was a pretty good one. Got a lot accomplished. Lots of new babies have been added to the fray, so to speak. And yeah, we continue to make progress. Next session, I think I'm going to try and see if there's anything else to do at Yanasi Plains. See what else we can do to spruce this up a little bit. Pun entirely intended. Not that any of these are spruce trees. What am I doing? Oh, yes, there is a spruce tree. All right, cool. Sorry, why am I so happy about it? Okay, anyways, you can tell I'm still a little loopy. I'm going to go ahead and rest up, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes me help make decisions for the channel and for each episode as well. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Do we come back down to Southeast Asia? Do we go further north and get the polar bears? We are still short of that $1 million mark that I said would bring the polar bears back. So maybe we stick to Southeast Asia before we continue northwards, or do we do the camels? You let me know. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly, and a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.